The magnificence of the Amazon rainforest is difficult to describe. From the air, it is quite an extraordinary sight. Its impenetrable canopy of trees, broken only by the Amazon River and its hundreds of huge tributaries and streams. 30% of the world's species live in the vast Amazon basin. More species of birds, plants and mammals inhabit this forest than anywhere else on Earth. 400 billion trees store 86 billion tons of carbon. Without the Amazon rainforest, the world's climates would be thrown out of kilter. It literally helps the world to breathe. 20% of the world's entire oxygen supply is produced here. Without it, experts say global warming would soar. It is huge, yes, but it's getting smaller. Logging and farming, the biggest source of danger. It seems impenetrable. Then small squares of green appear. This is the loggers at work, secretly cutting down trees deep in the forest. Then more green begins to appear, and then more. And suddenly, the forest just disappears, replaced with mile after mile of farmland. It looks like rural England. The point is, it just shouldn't. This is the town of Novo Progresso, or New Progress. It's in the heart of the rainforest, and it's a big place now. It's home to ranchers and miners. It's a boom town, and under Bolsonaro, the good times are about to get better. This is home to super high-end farming. The ranches are spectacular. Because it's been a rainforest for millions of years, it's incredibly nutritious. The economics are remarkable. In Texas, for example, 15 acres of land can support 1 cow. Here, 15 acres can support 30 cows. Agamemnon da Silva Menezes is head of the Farmers' Union. He once famously quipped, "Nobody misses dinosaurs, why would they miss trees?" We joined him at this ranch that is specialising in genetically modifying bulls. It is quite a remarkable sight.
It's the biggest bull I've ever seen.
They balk at any criticism. They deny climate change and, like the president, pour scorn on countries who challenge them.
O que os outros países lá fora fizeram? Alemanha, Inglaterra, tal. Desmataram tudo, plantaram, enriqueceram. E agora, se quiser plantar floresta de novo, é só plantar. A terra não acabou. Isso aqui, se deixar sem cuidar isso aqui, vira floresta de 2 anos, 3 anos, vira floresta. Então, por que essa utopia de achar que tudo vai virar deserto? Acabou aquela coisa.
% of deforestation in Brazil is caused by ranching, and this is what it looks like when it starts. Mud roads are bulldozed through the forest to allow the logging trucks to get in. Slowly but surely the trees are pushed aside by the bulldozers. There's no law out here. The loggers are notoriously unfriendly and dangerous. Outsiders aren't welcomed. More environmental journalists and activists are killed here than anywhere else. Trees are left on the side of the road waiting to be taken away by the trucks. This is illegal, but it's hugely lucrative.
So this area was deforested about a year ago, we're told. Give some idea of how much money this is worth. When this is cut down, and they will come back for this, and sold, it goes for about $250. When it gets to the marketplace, the international marketplace, these beautiful trees will go for about $3,000. This is a very badly hit part of the Amazon. Last year, over 100,000 football fields of trees were cut down.
After years of well-organised government-controlled protection, the loggers are back and cutting through the forest at record levels. We don't really think of trees being endangered in the same way as we do animals, but for conservationists, these areas of dying trees, burnt to make them easier to cut down, is as heartbreaking as an elephant or rhino being killed. This is, put simply, a tree graveyard.
Mais adentro.
Tiago Alves is a forestry worker. Despite all their efforts, the situation, he says, has become impossible.
The loggers are winning.
Sempre. O madeireiro está ganhando, a floresta está sendo devastada e o problema ambiental está cada vez maior e ninguém faz nada.
The tributaries of the Amazon are huge rivers in their own right. This is the Jingu River. It's well over 1,000 miles long and runs through the state of Para, north to the Amazon River. Para State has some of the most environmentally damaged areas in the Amazon. The forest and its rivers are intrinsically linked, but both are being damaged in different ways. Sections of the forest are drowning from a huge rise in water levels caused by a hydroelectric dam upstream. It affects the trees, the animals, the fish, the river, and vitally, it affects the people who live here, the indigenous people. 25,000 of them from 18 distinct ethnic groups live along the Jingu. They're calling out for help.
Well, we've been prepping and travelling into the rainforest for most of the day now. We're hoping to meet with the indigenous population who live here. There are many of them, of course, in different groups around the whole of the Amazon. But they are saying they need outside help because they're being threatened by loggers who've come onto their land and are simply refusing to leave. We're coming to see what it is they're so worried about.
We travelled north through treacherous rocky sections of the river and through rapids only locals can navigate. Finally, we reached the home of the Azurrini people. There are only about 200 or 300 of them living in and off the forest and the river. First official contact with the Azurrini was in 1971, and it was made by this man. Moreira was chosen to walk out of the forest to contact the white man. He has no idea how long it took, but it was almost certainly months, possibly years. He was sent to find help because the Azurrini risked being wiped out by tribal fighting. Nearly 50 years later, threatened by land invasions from loggers and illegal miners, they're calling out for help once again. The land is everything in our life, Moreira told me. Without the land, we cannot live. The Azurrini are hunter-gatherers. Fruit and vegetables from the rainforest, fish from the river, and wild animals. We join them on a hunt. They have to travel much further these days by boat because the animals have been scared off by the loggers. Hunting in the forest is very difficult. The dogs try to push their prey towards the river, forcing them to swim to safety. The hunting team then get back on board and search for their quarry. It's a deer. The chase is on. There is only one ending, and it's pretty brutal. Sort of fairly horrendous to watch. So they just caught this deer. It was just out swimming, and they saw it. Suddenly, the boat started rushing forward, and they've got it. Now the dog's getting back in. No, we've got one. There is no sport in this. The entire village benefits from the hunt. The forest, the river, the animals and the humans live here in harmony. When the lands are invaded, everything changes. The indigenous people live off the forest, they hunt in it, they gather vegetables and fruit, but they move on the river. And so what's really vital to them is that the river is healthy and that the forest is healthy, and then they can live. If either is damaged, their whole lifestyle just goes wrong. The Azurrini second in charge told me that his people are being threatened by armed illegal loggers, and he fears other indigenous groups may have been murdered for their land.
Pela algumas reportagens que passou no outros lugares, né, que os madeireiros fizeram por instinto mesmo para os outros indígenas. Não sei se aconteceu isso, mas a gente fica duvidoso, né? E só vindo aqui dentro da Amazônia que a organização internacional pode conhecer qual é realmente a realidade da Amazônia hoje.
The world needs the Amazon, but right now the Amazon needs the world just as much. The Brazilian government argues it has the right to farm and to exploit its own natural resources. And clearly that is true. But for 2 decades, Brazil accepted its responsibility as the custodian of this wonder of the world. This country arguably needs help to change its ways, if that is what the world wants. If not, the forest, the river, and its people may be lost forever.